Over many years, the so-called American dream has changed and transformed into what it is today. But is that dream still prevalent in today's society? Is that hope that built our country still what drives our hard work today? The American dream is what our country was built on, rooted and weaved into the inspirational words of the Declaration of Independence.
The term American Dream was first introduced into American society by James Truslow Adams in 1931. In his book, The Epic of America, he describes that life should be better, richer, and fuller for everyone, with opportunity for each according to ability or achievement, regardless of social class or circumstances of birth. After this book was published, the term American Dream was used in everyday languages as a representation of what many Americans strive to achieve. Over countless decades, this dream changed and transformed in the eyes of the American people.
In the 1940s and 50s, many men were deployed overseas to fight for our country. As World War II and the Korean War played out, life on the home front was much more peaceful. The American dream was to have a nice family, a house with a white picket fence, and a little dog. It was the dream of a life filled with simplicity that occupied the minds of Americans in these years.
However, once the 1960s rolled in, this dream began to change. The youth of America was more focused on a dream that involves everyone as a nation, not necessarily individual achievement. The youth of America fought back, protesting mainly about issues such as civil rights and the Vietnam War. The dream was now to have peace, freedom, and equality for all.
It does not exist anymore. When I was growing up, the American dream was having a home, being able to travel, having a job, having security, knowing that you had a family, security, and mom and a dad both didn't have to work, one to take care of the other. When you got older, you were going to be taken care of, and nowadays, no, the American dream does not exist.
Yeah, I do believe the American dream is still alive. I mean, if you look at other countries and what we have available to us in America and how fortunate we are in America, we are very, very fortunate people. Just the fact that we're born in America gives us an advantage. And that dream is still out there. You just got to find the right angle. You got to find the right thing and make it happen. I mean, it happens every day for people. It's just, you got to come up with that right thing. And of course it can still happen.
My American dream is if you wake up tomorrow, that's an American dream. You're happy. And you're still in the same bed. And you have breakfast. That's good. It's a good thing. I think people, when they were naive a long time ago, the American dream was only a make-believe and they all lived happily ever after. But the reality has hit us way too quickly. And so there really has never been an American
I think it's to be happy, to have close friends and family, and to have enough resources, financial, to live well. Also to have good health.
By the 1970s, the dream had switched to issues that seemed out of this world. When President Kennedy made his speech about the space program, Americans ran with this idea. Children in school were encouraged to study math and science more than ever to achieve this goal. Looking back at this decade, the women's movement, concern for the environment, and of course, space exploration occupied the minds of America.
The 1980s and 90s were interesting decades to say the least. The American dream really changed from us as a nation to individual achievement. Now it was a race against everyone. Who could get the new technologies the fastest and who could exceed the quickest in life. In the 1990s, the internet really defined the decade with email and the computer that was made available to the average American.
Okay, my definition of the American dream is to work hard, do your best, and eventually become successful. My definition of the American dream is a tight-knit family, success, and a stable job.
My definition of the American dream would be marrying a good wife and living, having a good family, like a couple kids, and having a nice home and a nice community with a good school to raise your kids with, and just a good community with good people in it.
No.
No.
Yes.
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 I believe it still exists, but in a different form than it used to.
Yeah, because I can see it through my family, I think.
Yes.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Yes.
What do people have to do to achieve the American dream?
To achieve the American dream, I believe that people need to work hard, they need to make sacrifices, they need to make smart decisions with their money, and they need to take risks.
Taking something or starting with nothing and producing something or making something that makes a difference, makes you lots of money, and causes you to be very successful.
Many people may argue that we have become too much of a selfish society, a society based on only individual achievement, and yes, portions of that are true. What we believe is that it is still alive, even looking at the decades from the 40s to present day.
The face of the American dream changes to conform to what our country has become. This national philosophy is what built our country, a basis of countless individuals around the world to hope for that dream.
The American dream is what drives individual determination to work for a better life, and many end up with a successful result. So what we believe is that you should work hard towards your dream, and you will achieve it.